Soldiers are frozen for 40 years to be turned into an unstoppable force, one meant to build the most powerful army the world has ever known. In 1977, the first satellite is launched to capture images of the moon, but instead of staying in orbit, it keeps going. By 1979, it reaches the edge of the solar system and sends back the first images of a volcanic eruption on Jupiter. A year later, in 1980, it flies past Saturn. In 2012, the satellite is still drifting through the galaxy, now over 11 billion miles from Earth. Its exact location is unknown. In a remote part of the city, a U.S. Special Forces team is conducting a nighttime operation. Under heavy fire, they push forward, clearing houses one by one. But as the enemy numbers grow, it becomes clear they're outmatched. Their magazines are almost empty, and more rebels keep pouring in. With no other option, they begin to retreat, covering each other as they fall back, until one of them goes down. The death of their teammate sparks a surge of rage. The commander calls for an evacuation, but within a minute, he changes his mind. Instead, he orders an airstrike on their location, even though it means certain death. Suddenly, the sky above them erupts in red light. Stunned, the soldiers stare upward, unable to make sense of what they're seeing. Colors swirl overhead like a kaleidoscope, and then, at the center of the phenomenon, a flying ship appears. Lightning bursts from the strange craft in all directions, and in the next instant, darkness swallows them whole. When they come to, the soldiers find themselves trapped in translucent stasis pods. In a panic, they tear through the outer layer and climb out, coughing and disoriented. Once they're sure everyone is okay, they start looking around, trying to figure out where they are. One of them suggests they've been captured by the Chinese and taken to a secret base, but that theory falls apart fast. On one of the walls, they find a plaque with their names written on it, in a language they don't recognize. Then, one of the men realizes, somehow, he can read it. He tells the others the plaque lists their names and call signs. The discovery stuns the team, but the surprises keep coming. Their magazines? Fully loaded. They decide to retrace their steps and piece together what happened. But all of them remember the same thing. Hasaka, the firefight, Donnie going down, then a siren, and a jolt of electricity. After a quick discussion, they come to a decision. Whatever this place is, they need to get out, now. With no idea of the building's layout, the squad moves cautiously and quietly through the corridors. Eventually, they come up against a sealed bulkhead. With no other choice, they try forcing it open with their bare hands. After a struggle, they manage to pry it open and move into the next corridor, only to run into another hatch. This time, it's badly damaged, and there's no way they'll get it open manually. While searching for an alternate route, one of the soldiers spots a vent hatch. They send Reyes in to scout ahead. Crawling through the shaft, Reyes comes to a junction and radios the commander. He's told to go straight and not take any turns. Eventually, the tunnel leads him out into the corridor beyond the jammed hatch. After confirming the area is clear, he reports back. The team climbs into the vent and follows. Once they catch up to Reyes, the squad begins to carefully sweep the new corridor. On one of the walls, they notice strange markings. Something about this place feels wrong. The winding layout seems like a maze, and no one has any idea how to get out. Based on the sealed bulkheads at every turn, it's likely they're either deep underground or underwater. Suddenly, a woman's scream echoes from far down the corridor. Without hesitation, the squad rushes toward the sound. Turning another unfamiliar corner, they spot a trail of blood on the floor. Guns raised, bracing for a fight, they follow the trail to a room. Then, drip, blood lands on one soldier's helmet. He looks up, and freezes. Human bodies, mangled and bloodied, are hanging from the ceiling. The commander leaves Rhodey to guard the entrance, while he, Reyes, Gibbs, and Nash move forward to investigate. In the next room, they find a woman chained to the wall, still alive. She begs them to free her. After unshackling her, they decide it's time to get out, but they're too late. Without warning, a monstrous creature appears behind one of the men and kills Gibbs instantly with a brutal strike. The others, jolted by his dying scream, open fire, but to their horror, their weapons have no effect on the creature. One of the soldiers spots a strange weapon lying nearby, likely dropped by one of the monsters. He grabs it and tries to fire, but the thing is completely unfamiliar. Rhodey arrives just in time, quickly figures out how to use the weapon, and blasts the creature, finally bringing it down. The team gathers around the fallen monster, disgusted. They've never seen anything like it. Suddenly, the thing twitches, coming back to life. Before anyone can react, the rescued woman empties an entire magazine into its head. The monster finally goes still for good. "We can't stay here," she says and turns to leave. Desperate for answers, the squad follows her into the darkness. As they follow the girl down the corridor, the commander suddenly stops her with a shout. He wants to find out what's going on and who these creatures are. But before he can ask, a monster appears behind them again. Ordering his team to run, he lays down covering fire, but the creatures are surprisingly well defended. Dodging bullets, the special forces retreat deeper into the corridors. At one point, the girl spots a lever controlling the airlock doors and pulls it. The team is temporarily cut off from the creatures, but they realize the doors won't hold for long. Retreating while keeping the airlock in sight, the soldiers discover another ventilation shaft. One by one, they climb inside. Reyes is the last to enter. He decides to wait until the monsters break through the doors so he can take them out, but his plan fails. Reinforcements arrive for the creatures. Forced to retreat, he climbs into the shaft too late. The monsters manage to reach him and drag him out of hiding. Once the team emerges into another corridor, they quickly realize Reyes is dead. Nash breaks down in hysteria. He had never believed in aliens, but now he's certain. After calming his friend, the commander turns to the girl, demanding answers. Reluctantly, she confirms the horrifying truth. They are indeed dealing with aliens, and they're on the alien spaceship. She urges them to move to a safe location, warning that staying put would mean certain death. Shocked, the men agree. They can't remain where they are. Meanwhile, the aliens are torturing Reyes' body. They pin him to a table, remove his limbs, and then use a device to extract his memories, learning how many humans are still on the ship. As they move through the corridors, Kelly asks the girl more questions. She reveals her name as Ravshana, or Ravi for short. One of the creatures they saw is the leader. Despite the ship's enormous size, the aliens can easily find them. Motion sensors cover the entire vessel. The commander asks why the aliens are even killing humans. She delivers a chilling truth. Humans are their food. Continuing through the ship, the team enters a massive, strange chamber filled with countless capsules. It's impossible to see what's inside most of them because of the thick layer of grime. Suddenly, Rhodey halts everyone. He spots a cleaner capsule. Moving closer, he peers inside and, horrified, realizes there's a human inside. Ravi isn't surprised at all. She calls these humans sleepers and insists they leave immediately. Coming into another corridor, the team decides to take a short break. As Kelly tends to Ravi's wound, he learns that before she was abducted, she lived with her family in Sochi. The Special Forces operative shares that he's from New York and has a daughter named Sarah. She lives with her mother, since his life as a soldier has never really allowed him to have a family. After resting, the team sets off again. Eventually, they reach a hangar filled with containers. Ravi explains that the containers hold human belongings that caught the aliens' interest. Stopping near one of them, Rhodey shares his theory. The creatures are likely trying to corner them, and if they can track their location, it wouldn't be difficult. He suggests setting a trap with an open fight, but for that, they need a bait. One of the soldiers volunteers. He's the fastest runner, giving him the only chance to survive. The rest, though reluctant, agree to the plan. Stepping away from the group, the soldier moves into the corridor and starts singing. The monsters, following his trail, hear him and realize their target is near. They charge, running straight toward the soldier who is waiting for them. Once they see him, he bolts, dodging bullets to lure the aliens into the trap. The plan works perfectly. Caught off guard, the creatures are surrounded and quickly taken down. But Ravi is uneasy. Things went too smoothly, and there isn't a single commander among the dead. At that moment, Kelly peeks around a container and sees another wave of aliens approaching. Opening fire, the team quickly realizes these reinforcements are far from easy to kill. The newcomers carry energy shields that no weapon can pierce. The squad decides to retreat. By the time they almost reach the hangar exit, they lose another soldier, Jax, leaving their fallen comrade behind. The survivors make it to a corridor and dive into a ventilation shaft. Landing in the water, horror grips them. They aren't in water, it's blood, and human organs float all around. Suddenly, a female voice calls out from above. Looking up, Ravi is stunned to recognize her mother. Carefully, the team follows her to a hidden shelter. Stopping by a wall, she opens a secret hatch. Climbing inside, the soldiers look around in amazement as Ravi explains that her squad fell into an ambush. Constantine, carrying explosives, sacrificed himself so the others could escape. After talking with her daughter, the woman turns to the soldiers, asking when they first woke up. Once she hears their story, she explains the terrifying truth. They were kidnapped as souvenirs, which is why weapons and name tags were left nearby. She reveals she's been on the alien ship for nearly 30 years, and her daughter was born after the invasion. The soldiers are shocked to hear about the alien attack. She recounts how the monsters discovered Earth. In 1977, NASA launched a satellite engraved with a map marking the planet's exact location. In effect, humans invited them here, and the aliens wasted no time taking advantage. She doesn't know much about the war itself, as she was abducted, but piecing together what other captives said, she learned Earth was devastated in just weeks. With their technology, it was easy. They began by kidnapping the world's greatest military strategists, air, land, and sea, and used their devices to connect to humans' minds, extracting every bit of knowledge. This allowed them to quickly crush all resistance. All captives were also scanned. Each had strange and terrifying dreams, and upon waking, they gained new abilities, like understanding the alien language. She describes the ship, a military frigate meant to transport all Earth's spoils back to their homeworld. The greatest prize? Humans, livestock. But the awakened humans managed to sabotage, disabling one of the reactors. Now the ship can't move on its own and likely drifts somewhere in space. She has never shared this information with any awakened humans before, but now there's no choice. The aliens are working desperately to repair their communications relay to contact their people. Once they succeed, everyone aboard the ship will die, either in combat or as food. She knows this because of her gift. She can hear and understand the aliens. They must stop the creatures to save humanity. After hearing everything, the Special Forces team falls into a grim silence. They realize they may never see home, or their loved ones, again. Kelly gently strokes a photo of his daughter, thinking that if Sarah is still alive, she'd be around 40 by now. Gathering his thoughts, the commander resolves to help the woman and rescue the captives. As they approach her, the team immediately questions her plan. Ravi's mother suggests sneaking into the communications center to disable their equipment. According to the girl's intel, only a few aliens remain on the ship, maybe 24, but a direct fight would be suicide. Instead, she proposes sneaking to the upper deck through the ventilation shafts and using explosives to take the creatures out. Kelly agrees, and the team moves out immediately. Crawling through the shafts, the squad reaches a vent room near the communications center. Before climbing out, the woman introduces herself as Anya and hands Kelly an alien shield. Once they exit the vent, the team splits. Anya, Ravi, and Nash head for the communications center, while the rest act as a distraction. Kelly and Rhodey intentionally leave a motion sensor to lure the monsters, ensuring the creatures don't interfere with what's happening inside the command center. Their plan works perfectly. Once the sensor detects movement, it sends the alert straight to the ship's commander. Meanwhile, the second team waits in the center, biding their time until the aliens focus on Kelly and leave the hall. The moment that happens, they emerge from hiding and get to work. Kelly and Rhodey engage the monsters head on. Lying in ambush, they easily take down the first two, but reinforcements quickly arrive. Using the shield for cover, they fall back deeper into the corridor, drawing the aliens as far from the communications center as possible. Inside, Ravi and Anya plant explosives under various devices. One by one, Kelly and Rhodey fight off the monsters. Suddenly, one of their wrist sensors goes off. The aliens realize it's a trap and rush toward the command center, aware that if the intruders destroy the communications hub, it's over for them. As Anya sets the explosives, she hears approaching monsters and alerts the others. At the same time, Kelly radios Nash about the incoming threat. Seeing that the team inside the center needs help, Rhodey urges his commander to move in while he holds back the new wave. Knowing he's doomed, Rhodey decides to take as many enemies with him as he can. In a final hand-to-hand struggle with the last monster, the soldier sacrifices himself, detonating explosives that kill both him and the creature. Inside the command center, the squad braces for battle. When the first aliens arrive, they're met with a hail of bullets. Caught off guard, the first wave falls instantly. Realizing the element of surprise is gone and they can't hold out much longer, Anya orders Ravi and Nash to retreat. Waiting until the aliens gather in force, she sacrifices herself, detonating the command center and taking all the remaining creatures with her. After leaving the destroyed command center, Nash contacts Kelly to report the explosion. But some of the aliens have survived and continue to pursue them. In one corridor, Kelly hides Ravi in a ventilation shaft, determined to honor her mother's request and keep her safe. Once he confirms she's secure, the soldier steps out to confront the monsters. Lying in wait, he takes out a few, but reinforcements keep coming. Meanwhile, Ravi finds another vent exit in a different corridor. She climbs out, looks around, and suddenly realizes an alien is standing right behind her. At the same time, Kelly, trying to reach his friends, comes across cages filled with terrified humans. They beg him to help, but he quickly senses a trap. The cages are actually empty. As he retreats cautiously, he fails to notice a creature sneaking up behind him, and a powerful blow knocks him unconscious. Under the alien's influence, Kelly sees a vision of his daughter Sarah, blowing soap bubbles in a green meadow and smiling at him. Suddenly, the sky darkens, and in the next moment, she is sucked aboard the ship. When he comes to, Kelly finds himself behind bars, with an unfamiliar man beside him. Scanning the area, he spots Ravi in the neighboring cage. She tells him that Anya and Nash have died. At that moment, aliens appear near the cages. One of them opens a cage and drags Kelly into a chamber, hanging him upside down, ready to behead him. Suddenly, a gunshot rings out, and the alien collapses. Kelly turns to see Nash, who, incredibly, has survived. They free Kelly and set out together to rescue Ravi. Moving through the corridors, they eliminate more aliens and reach the cages. Hiding behind a wall, Nash holds the line, keeping the monsters at bay while Kelly unlocks all the cages and frees the prisoners. Once Ravi is free, Kelly orders a retreat. The aliens immediately give chase. Dodging bullets, the trio tries to escape, but eventually, they are forced into a fight. Their ammo runs low, one magazine after another, until Nash comes up with an idea. He tears the explosive belt from his own body and hurls it at the monsters while Kelly slams the airlock shut. The resulting explosion shakes the ship. For the first time, the friends allow themselves a moment to breathe, still in disbelief that they've survived. Their relief is short-lived. Laughing with triumph, Nash leans against the airlock door, just as a blade pierces him. The ship's commander survived and tracked them down. Tossing the dying soldier aside, the alien turns to finish the humans who destroyed its team. Kelly immediately yells at Ravi to run and prepares to fight. Confirming she's safe, he attacks, but it's clear he's weaker, and the alien senses it. Blow after blow lands, sapping Kelly's strength. Just when it seems the fight is lost, he summons his last reserves. Waiting for the alien to strike for the final blow, Kelly lunges at the lever holding the airlock doors. The heavy metal plates slam shut on the creature, cutting it in half. Taking a final glance at the lifeless monster, Kelly races after Ravi. Rounding a corner, he sees her standing over a hatch. She's found a way out. Gathering his remaining strength, he climbs the ladder to the top and exits the ship. Ravi follows closely behind. They look around in horror. The ship has been on Earth all along, and in the distance, Paris lies in ruins. Anya was right, the aliens have wiped out the planet. If you were one of the soldiers aboard an alien ship, what would you choose? Risk everything for freedom or play it safe to survive? Share your thoughts in the comments down below, give a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next videos.